Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about weddings. First off, why do people actually like weddings? I mean, there's always the free food, but other than that, am I the only one who doesn't like wedding receptions? When I was younger, I never got invited to the reception part of a wedding because I was a kid and nobody wants kids at a reception. But now that I'm getting to be older, I've been going to more reception parts of the wedding. And I'm starting to wish I was like that 10-year-old girl again. See, the thing is, receptions, they're a party. And at parties, you always have like the cool kids and then like the nerds. And I'm always kind of, the nerds. So recently, my cousin got married, and I was invited to the reception. And so I showed up to this reception, and I was like, everybody was having a good time. And at first it's okay because you can just like wander around from group to group and like chat, I guess, and eat cheese. But then comes the dinner part. Now this is always the worst part of the reception. So I got my dinner, and like I was trying to find a table to sit at, but of course, all the tables with anybody I would actually want to talk to are taken up because they're cool, and I'm not. So I wandered through the crowd with my plate. I found a table with like the whole table was empty except for like two people, and I was like, yay, like empty-ish table. So I took my little sister, and I went and I sat at this table. The other people at the table and me and my sister talked a bit and like we chatted for a while, but it wasn't like too bad because we were eating, so it's so cool. But then eventually more people came to our table, and like as people came, they'd be like have to like ask you your name, and then I'd have to remember their name, which I suck at, by the way. So I was stuck at this table with a bunch of people who I didn't know who they were, and so like I was just kind of sitting there, and it was really cold, and I didn't know it was gonna be cold because it was like hot in the morning. So people were trying to cheer me up, I guess, because I was cold. So like this one guy started, he's like, it's cold up here at night because of the creek, and he started talking to me about a creek. I really don't do well with small talk, so especially with strangers. Then another guy started telling me about how on his hunting trip he had seen buffalo or something like that. So he took a picture of them, and then he was like giving me his phone and like, look at these pictures, and I was like, oh, expensive items phone. Like, yeah, I don't do well with expensive things. I usually drop them, but eventually, as the night wore on, I was sitting there freezing. Yeah, as I've already stated, and one of the ladies got up from the table and walked away, and a few minutes later, I felt something like go on my back, and I was like, whoa, I got all freaked out, and I turned around, and she's like, here's the jacket, sweetheart, because you look so cold, and I'm like, oh, thanks, and like, it was kind of awkward, because I didn't really know her, but I took it anyways, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome, thanks, and she's like, yeah, actually, I'm so glad to see it out, because that's my sister, since she just died, and I was like, yeah, I'm awkward when I talk to people, as you can probably tell. Another thing about weddings is that the adults are always having fun, and so, like, they never want to leave, so when you're ready to leave, they don't want to go. At this wedding, I, like, asked my mom, like, Mom, can we go? Because I mean, it's kind of awkward, and yeah. And she's like, okay, sweetheart, okay. Well, we're leaving in 5 minutes, okay? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go and I say goodbye to everyone and all that stuff. And then, like, an hour later, one thing about family weddings, is that I have a really, like, when you're invited to a cousin's wedding or something like that, I have a really big family. Like, I have, like, 80 cousins or something. First cousins. And so I really don't know a lot of my relatives. So like I'll be at a wedding and I'll be sitting there and that guy's kind of cute. But then you'll find out like he's actually related to you somehow. So those are just a few things that I think about weddings, I guess. If you have any thoughts of your own, no. If you have any thoughts, leave them below in the comments. And like this video. Okay, bye! Table?